Hey PhD, I hope everybody's doing well. I was trying to think of something fun and exciting for us to do while we're apart, and it dawned on me that my husband has a pretty cool work environment, so I decided to come and visit Sergeant Ragan at his office, which is pretty cool, right? He's going to give us a quick tour, tell us some information about the horses and some of the things that they do that are unique to the Mounted Patrol unit.
Hey guys, welcome to the Mounted Patrol barn. What we're going to do, we're going to take a little walk through. We got a couple horses out here actually right now that just came off the street. Officer Stanchak and Officer Gonzalez just got done riding a little shift today down the river market, riding in the park. So these horses have been working and are ready for a little break and ready to get turned out in their pastures. So we wanted to hold them here just for y'all to be able to see them. This guy right here, this is Chip. He's our 10-year-old, well, we have 10-year-old horse. We got him last year. He's been a really good horse for us. He's a gray horse, and that's kind of a rare color because it's a recessive gene in the horses. This guy right here, this is Clem. He's our oldest. He's 23. He's actually come from the Arkansas prison system. If you would, come around this side. They've all got a little brand here. It's got a little AP on the side. That's for the Arkansas Penitentiary, Arkansas prisons. These horses are born and bred in the prison system up in Calico Rock, Arkansas, up at the North Central Unit Prison. Prisoners help breed the horses and help take care of them. That's part of their recovery while they're in prison. Clem here is our oldest, like I said. Clem has a really cool name because it generated from when he was the first horse to ever be released from the prison system out into the real world, and when he was sold to the Little Rock Police Department back in 2005. So Clem got his name Clemency, so he got a little clemency from the prison. So now if you want to, we'll go inside the barn. We have a 12-stall barn, but we only have 5 horses currently. This horse right here, this one's Jay. He's actually my horse. He's 9 years old. You look here, Jay. Say hi. I think you've seen some of these kids before, haven't you? Yeah. Okay. Jay's a little quiet. Well, we kind of original with his name here. That's our little feed and tack room we just passed by. It's a little messy right now, but we'll get it straightened up here after a while. Our tacks, our saddles, and our bridles, reins, and everything. Let's see. We just got a shipment of 126 bales of hay. I've been off for the past 3 months with recovering from a little injury, but Officer Stanchak, Lucio, and Gonzalez unloaded that trailer one morning, so that's a lot of physical labor that we do out here at the barn. This is actually our newest horse. We just picked him up on Wednesday. Wednesday, yeah, up in Calico Rock. He is a 9-year-old horse as well. He's a Palomino, and that's actually another rare horse because the gray horse, Chip, and this is actually, his name is Blaze, I forgot to tell you. Just a real rare color. So we were lucky to get him. Let's see, show you one of our stalls. Our stalls are 12 by 12. They're fairly clean right now because our horses rarely stay in their stalls. They're mostly outside horses out in their pastures. This is Punch. He's the second oldest, and he's the leader of the bunch. He'll let you know it too. So he's the one that stands alert and kind of lets everybody know what's going on.
He's a little darker color too.
He's a really dark color. He's a bay roan, is that his color? So let's go on. And it's usually unsafe. I'm going to tell you, it's unsafe to walk behind a horse. But what we do, we kind of stay in the horse's line of sight, and he knows who's behind him. So you're told don't walk behind the horse because they'll kick you. So just kind of be aware of where their head is. They can see you at all times, and you're able to walk behind them without them kicking you, because they're going to kick you because they're nervous and don't know what's behind them. And right now, if you want to look at this, Punch is shedding because over the winter they put on a thick coat. We leave them outside. We don't let them stay in the stall all winter, and we'll get a big thick coat of hair, and that way they're able to stay warm outside. Because that's just their natural tendency. They're natural horses. Let's see. one of our storage areas where we keep our rakes for cleaning out the stalls for scooping. We've got a water trough in here.
What do you
for
scoop?
when we scoop horse manure. Let's see here. Just a water trough that we keep in here for the water in the winter to keep it warm. We don't have a hot water tank out here, so it's a way for us to get hot water. This is our little four-wheeler that we use to do a little work around the barn facility, haul different types of things. And these are all the shavings that we have in all of our stalls. We get probably one load a year, but with not putting our horses out in the fields as often, or actually not putting the horses in the stalls as often, we don't use as much shavings because they're outside more often.
Do they eat the shavings?
They don't eat the shavings. They use them for the bathroom and for bedding. And that's everything inside the barn, our 12-stall barn here. Now we're going to go take a look at some of the pastures. We've got 5 acres out here at the Mounted Patrol barn, and we've got those 5 acres split up into 10 different pastures. 5 horses, 10 pastures. That way we're able to rotate the horses for whatever needs. If they eat all the foliage in one pasture, we're able to move them to another so they can get more. Because horses eat hay, grain, oats, just all this greenery out in the pasture. So what's that?
Weeds, they eat weeds?
The new horses eat the weeds. They get accustomed to not eating the weeds because we start feeding them the hay bales.
You feed them hay and
they
oats?
enjoy that quite often.
Gotcha.
But we'll try to rotate them every 2 to 3 months because based on the weather, yesterday we rotated the horses because if you'll look out here in this one pasture, it's full of mud right here where we let the horses in and out. The horses don't really like the mud, so we'll move them into their reserve pasture. So this is our north end of our barn. So if you'll take a look, it's all mud up where they eat. They eat at these little posts we have set up at the front of the pasture. Do you have any questions, Miss Ragan, while we're walking?
Trying to think. I've been asking as we go.
Right.
Do they ever stay in the same pasture together?
They never stay in the same pasture together. These horses, they like to try to dominate one another and they'll start nipping at each other. So what we try to do is keep that from happening as best we can. So they each got their own pasture.
Gotcha. Are they all male horses?
They're all male horses. They're all gelded, which means they've been neutered. They can't reproduce. And that kind of calms them down because the stallions that like to breed, they're very
energetic.
Very energetic.
Energetic.
So this is the last of our 5 pastures around the north side. We just moved them from here. And then right after here we have our riding arena. This is where we do our training with the unit. We got some good grass out there right now, but it's kind of, weather's been good enough for us to get out there and turn it up and make it all dirt, make it soft for us to, if we fall off of our horse, which we have on occasion. So we'll get that turned up, but that's where we do all of our training for crowd control and riding at the fair. And we used to ride down at Riverfest, which we don't have anymore.
Right.
That's one of our big events. Let's see. If you look back there at those black barrels that we have sitting on the white pipe, those are actually for our horses to push. That's how we use our crowd control. It's one of our crowd control techniques, is if we have to push a crowd. The horses aren't dangerous. They might, if we're asking somebody to move, we just use them as a barrier, a physical barrier. If it's soft, we'll push them out of the way. Right now we have, we've got 3 different trucks that pull our trailers. We got 3 trailers right now. But they're all being used. Let's see. They got bigger engines to be able to pull the trucks or the trailers. Let's take a look at one of the trailers if you want. It's going to be a little messy because we just brought our new horse back here today, but it's a little bit cleaner than I expected. These are straight load trailers. A lot of horses ride in slants because it's just a more popular trailer, but that's what we use. These horses, we got hay lofts in the front for them to eat while we're...
Can you fit 2 horses in this trailer?
Yeah, this is a 2-horse straight load trailer.
Okay.
So we've got lights on the inside, lights on the outside, but this trailer's not hooked up to a truck right now, so we can't operate any of this outside.
So that's how you take them down to ride in neighborhoods and in the river market and things like that.
We'll transport them down to the area where we're going to ride. We don't ride them from the barn to the area.
Gotcha.
Something we did here last year was we put up some shades for our horses. These horses used to just live out without any, they don't have any trees out here, no room for shade, or no means of shade. So we built these little sheds for them, and they're able to get under here when it rains and when it's really sunny outside, and that keeps the heat from beating down on them. And that's actually kept the ground, we put some gravel underneath it, so that keeps the horses from getting their feet too wet, and they don't stand in mud all the time. So we use these pastures most of the time. So these are where the horses are staying right now. But if y'all want to, we can go introduce you to the officers. This is Officer Jimmy Stanchek. Officer Stanchek is doing some fly wipe on Clem right now. Being that the weather is getting a little bit warmer out, the flies are starting to come out, and the flies like to bite on the horses. So what we'll do, we'll wipe some fly wipe on them, and that keeps them from spam phone calls. Let's see here. Yeah, that just keeps the flies from biting on them, and
They don't like that.
it's more comfortable for the horse. This is Officer Gonzalez. She rides Chip. Officer Lucio is indisposed at the moment, but
There he is. He's way down there.
Let's see. Yeah, Officer Lucio, Officer Stanchek and Officer Gonzalez were out riding today. Officer Lucio and I were here at the barn working with our new horse today. Had all 3 of them, gave them all baths, got them all cleaned up, groomed, getting all their loose hair off. And, that's kind of what we do out here at the barn.
Thank you, Sergeant Ragan.
Thanks for coming
Little
out.
Police Mounted Patrol.